Yo, what is going on, guys? Power GPU here. Today I'm doing a very simple and very, well, not quick video, but a simple video. Not how to, but I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So I'm actually building a new machine for myself. I'm actually in the current process of building 3 machines, 2 for customers and then 1 for myself as well. I did have an i7 7700K sitting here in my house, so I thought I would use it and not waste any more money than I don't have to. So this is just going to be a gaming machine. I have my stream box already dedicated for streaming. So it has an i7 as well that has more than enough power. So I thought, an i7 7700K would be more than enough for, just gaming alone. And of course, the 7700K performs amazing when it comes to per core performance, and it's one of those that could overclock like crazy. But I thought to myself, I was like, you know what, I want to push this processor. Reading up online as well, the i7 7700K, they actually went really bad on the TIM as well. And for those of you that don't know what TIM is, on the actual processor itself, there's this cover here, and underneath the cover, you actually have the CPU. And between the CPU and this cover, there's actually some thermal compound as well. It's called TIM. And they went really cheap on it this time around, which Intel did this before, a long time ago, with the 3770Ks, and they ran extremely hot. So these run pretty hot. The good thing about that is if I replace the TIM and actually replace it with some really good thermal compound, it actually drops temperatures up to 30 Celsius, depending on what kind of cooler you're using, which I'm going to be using a Thermaltake liquid cooler. So it should drop some pretty good temps. So before I build this machine, I want to do this. I'm just waiting on my power supply really to come in. But I'm going to do this real quick, and while you guys are watching, enjoy. I'm going to talk here and there because I got to concentrate on this, because the way I do it is literally use a box cutter, this guy right here, and I literally just wedge my ways in around all the way through, and I kind of slice it through a little bit to get rid of this pretty much this adhesive that they use between the PCB of the actual processor and the cover. So I'm going to be concentrating a little bit, so I'm going to move my mic actually out. I'm going to mute it, listen to some music, and that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the initial process of getting in there is actually kind of tough, but as you can see, I got it in the corner. So what you got to make sure is the actual processor goes like this. So you don't want to go too far into these little grooves here. You want to go from the corners. You don't want to go too much here. You want to go very little here. So what I'm going to do is now that I got it in, it's going to be easier to kind of maneuver around, and this cap's just going to come right off. I've already done this. I've done this like probably 12 times in my life. So I've done a few. There's actually easier ways of doing it. There's actually, they sell the kit that you can put the processor in and it literally just pops it off. I don't have that, unfortunately, because I haven't done this in a while. So I just went ahead and found a razor and went doing it this way, the old school way. But that's pretty much it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, guys. So here it is. So here's the literally, that's the processor right there. That's literally all it is. That little tiny thing is the processor. Of course, everything around it is the PCB, which actually lets you connect it to the motherboard. And then here's the cap, of course, with the cheap tin on there. It's almost like a concrete type. So right here around it, this adhesive, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clean it off a little bit. I'm going to clean it off here as well, which I have some nail polish is good for that, but I'm not going to use nail polish. I actually have some icy diamond, which the icy diamond comes with some liquid that you can put on there that actually makes it easier to take off. So give me 1 second. Let me put this down right here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I actually had it behind me. All right. So, actually, I'm sorry. Arctic Silver. I don't know why I said icy diamond. I used to have icy diamond. All right, so this is the thermal material remover. This is it right here. You don't have to use this, like I said. Yeah, so it comes with two of them, 2 bottles. I don't need both of them. And, of course, I have the Arctic Silver here, which I'm going to use the Arctic Silver on the inside of it, and if I have any left over enough, I'll use it on the outside as well with the actual cooler. So what I have is I have a few Q-tips right here, which I'm going to use, just kind of dab it in there a little bit, and that way I don't like overdo it, because you never want to overdo it. with processors and stuff like that, it's one of those things where you want to make sure you don't do too much. There we go. So I have some in my Q-tip. So now what I'm going to do is just go on here and start rubbing away some of this excess oh, by the way, you need a lot of Q-tips because thermal compound, the way it works is if you have it on your Q-tip already and you start spreading it around, it's going to spread all the way around and it gets pretty annoying. So you want a few Q-tips. There we go. It's already looking better. Let's see here. I don't advise you guys to do this if you're not experienced with it, because like I said, if you buy a processor, not all processors can be delided, because some are soldered all together and all that. So don't think that you can just go out there and just, hey, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? There we go. Now it's, look at that. You could even see the camera. That's how you want it. You want it nice and clean. But yeah, please don't think you could actually do this. Don't try it. I don't recommend it, because if you mess up your processor, you're gonna be really mad at yourself. So try not to do that. Now the one around the processor, I'm gonna leave that. I'm actually gonna remove this one because this is just a cap, so it doesn't matter how much liquid I have on here. So I'm going to do it all around. Let that soak in a little bit. There we go. And actually what I'm going to do for this, I'm actually going to go get a wipe real quick. That way I could just clean it up. Give me a sec. When all else fails, you get some toilet paper. If it's good enough for my bum, it's good enough for my processor, right? Alright, so now what I do is clean this top off real good, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let me move my processor real quick out of the way. I'll just work on this. Take this off. Actually, no, I probably should do it right here. That way I don't make a mess. I actually really miss doing stuff like this. I miss just modding stuff. Like I did the same thing for my GPUs. I would every time I would get a GPU in, because companies always go pretty cheap with that stuff, I would replace the thermal compound always. I mean, I used to overclock like crazy back in the day. I used to get into it and really push my rigs and stuff like that, and I was in the top 10 in the world on 3 to Marco 6. If you are a PC person, you know what that is. I think I was like number 8 or something like that. I know I was in the top 10, I just don't remember exactly, but I think it was somewhere around there. That's when I spent a lot of money on the computer, and I did this exactly what I'm doing right now. I replaced all the thermal compound, because a lot of times too, man, with hardware, a lot of it has to do with cooling, man. That's like one of the key things out there for. I mean, that goes for everything, honestly. I'm into cars as well. It's the same thing for cars. Literally, that's literally what a turbo does, is cools down your motor tremendously. Let's see what we got. Some on the outside. Pulling all this off, nice and clean. Hey, there's a UPS truck in my neighborhood. Are they delivering my power supply? Probably not. It's scheduled for tomorrow. Scheduled for tomorrow. Okay. Let's see here. Let's put a little bit more of this. Sorry about lately I haven't been streaming as much, guys. I've been bombarded with work at home, and I've been trying to really stick to a schedule to start playing basketball, and go spend a lot more time with my family. I'm getting older, not getting younger, so I want to make sure my priorities are straight. And of course, the whole building computers on the side is, I've been getting busy as well with that, and trying to get to everyone. Which, keep in mind, guys, I'm really busy, and I know I'm helping out a lot of people right now at the moment, with tech support, with different projects, with different, someone needs help with a certain thing with their computer. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just one man, one person. I can't do everything all at the same time. If I haven't resolved your issue yet, I apologize. I'll get to it. I promise you I have not forgotten you. Just got a lot of things going, so bear with me. Only human, right? Only human. All right, that should be good enough. All right, so now that that's cleaned off, what we're going to do now is, so we don't need the razor anymore. We are going to take this, put it there. Hopefully I have enough room. So I got my processor here. Okay, so now I got my motherboard here. This is the MSI Z270 Gaming AC Edition. So I'm gonna remove this, and this is how, if you ever do this, this is how you do it. Since you can't put the cover back on there, right? What we're gonna do is, and make sure one more time it's nice and clean. No fingerprints. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. So what we're going to do is put it in the processor the same way. I mean, that's literally... Okay, so it's in, right? So now, you don't want to put too much of this, by the way. So if you have some thermal compound... Okay. Just gotta put a line down right down the middle. All right. That's good enough. Now what we're going to do is put the cover on, which would be just like this. Okay, so now the processor's on. What we're going to do is we're going to use the actual hinges here to seal it. And that's it. So now the processor's in there with the cover. That's with it being delidded. So I replaced the TIM. Now all I gotta do is put my cooler on top, put the motherboard in the case, and that's it. So now I'm gonna be able to push this guy even further and actually have a lot better temperatures in the long run. So that's gonna be interesting. I've done it before, like I said. I'm probably gonna see a good 20 Celsius difference, maybe up to 30. Some people have reported up to 30. We're doing this with the 7700K, so big possibility there. But that's pretty much it. The video was a little bit long, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what I'm doing. I will be posting some more videos and pictures and stuff on this build that I'm doing. So older technology, but it's really good technology. So let's just go with it, right? All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for sticking by. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe as well. And I'll be live probably tonight. What's today? Today's the 10th? Yeah, tonight. Destiny 2. All right. I'll see you guys tonight. Peace.